Welcome back. One of our jobs here at the Listening Post is to demystify some of the tricks of the media trade, and there are plenty of them. As a viewer, you probably haven't given a second thought to the noddy. That's the video cutaway shot of the reporter in a recorded interview nodding in agreement. And it's routinely used to cover an edit in the audio. Well, now the noddy shot has somehow found itself in the middle of a debate on the nature of trust in the media. Some British broadcasters are joining the anti-noddy movement. They want it banned from the edit suite. There is something rotten in the state of the television industry. Much ado about a loss of viewer trust. Dodgy phone-in competitions in which callers never had a chance.
It seems some callers have not been properly entered into the competition.
Questions about how real those reality shows really are.
Three people who need a new kidney.
This is cynical exploitation.
Then a scandal at the BBC, caused by this documentary trailer. Dramatic scenes between the Queen and celebrity photographer Annie Leibovitz.
Less dressy, because the garter robe is so extraordinary.
Less dressy? What do you think this is? I'm not changing anything.
This shot was purported to show the Queen storming out of the photo shoot, when actually this was Elizabeth walking into the shoot. She was not amused. Hell hath no fury like a monarch scorned by the media.
Deceiving the public is totally unacceptable. It is a gross breach of discipline and will lead, in most cases, to immediate dismissal.
I think the big theme of trust and the way that broadcasters are responding to a lack of public trust has come through very strongly, and there are some strong ideas about how we can react to that and to make sure that audiences regain trust in the media.
Against that background of mistrust, TV news editors are in a spin. David Kermode, the new head of Britain's Channel 5 News, has taken action. His target, one of the news game's most versatile cutaway shots, the humble noddy. The listening shot seems harmless enough. It's a global technique in use from Moscow to Tangiers. Here's one we shot, as news crews often do, before the interviewee even got there. The noddy owes its existence to the fact that most news crews have only one camera, so the noddy is often recorded separately from the interview, like this, to make it look like a two-camera crew.
It's just naff. It's old-fashioned, it's hackneyed, it feels wrong, and it's misleading as well, and we can live without it. It's lots of things that have been done for a long time, have been done for a long time, doesn't make them right.
One of the things we're talking about is television economics, isn't it? Because we're looking at what's a one-camera interview that is cut to make it look like you have two cameras when you only have one. Typical is the re-ask. What do you think of this technique? Re-asking the questions after the interview has been completed in order to make it look like you have two cameras.
Well, what you're doing now is okay, because I'm still here and I'm answering this question that you've just asked. So it's real. What I would not want is for, say I'm a busy person and I've gone, and you're sat here with an empty sofa asking a question to nothing. That to me feels really wrong.
We wandered around the Channel 5 building to find out how reporters here are coping with the new no noddy edict.
I think pretty well, actually. I mean, I certainly don't think you'll have seen a noddy on 5 News since that email went out. But for example, I did a story the other day. What it did make us do is think a lot more creatively, I suppose, about the way we shot it. And it also, when I did the interview, it made me really, really listen to the interviewee first time around and make sure that whatever happened, those crucial grabs I knew in my head that I would probably need, I had.
Once Catherine left me alone, I was up to my old editing tricks. The slight disbelief. The classic noddy. Not everyone in the television industry is ready to kiss the noddy goodbye. Mike Symington has cut hundreds of news pieces.
I think it's a bit disingenuous, frankly, of Channel 5 to say, hey, we're not going to use the noddy, as though this was the high pinnacle of deception within television, when actually the opposite is, I believe, is true, is that really that's more of a technique. It contributes to flow. That's really what it's about. In radio, you can take two clips, butt them together, there's no visuals, so you listen to it, it all sounds fine. If you were in television, to take those same two clips, butt them together, Suddenly the face does this. A jump cut is what we call it. And so to avoid that distraction, we use an editing technique. And the editing technique is the noddy.
So what does this say?
You know what? I think that one to me is an ego one. I've got the pen. I'm Johnny Journalist. You know, you've got everything but the hat and the press on there. That's that one. Yeah, that one's too much for me.
20 years ago, I'd have been stuffed with this initiative, actually, because with digital editing, we can signal edits more clearly, or you can at least do an edit with a dissolve, with a white flash, that feels much more watchable and much less contrived, and frankly is just more honest.
How about if you go like this? If you're looking through the glasses and then...
Aggression there, eh? That's the dad look. Now you've gone too far. Really what the noddy is, the perfect interview situation is a 3-cam interview situation. There's a camera on you, a camera on me, and another camera off to my side grabbing the wide shot. To be able to attain that with one camera, we have to use the noddy. We have to take the camera from there, bring it back over my shoulder and shoot you. So really, the noddy is used, when it's used in that situation, is actually looking to perfect the interview situation.
Hackneyed cliche or unfairly maligned art form. Before we consign the noddy to the Edit Suite's trash bin of history, here's one more for posterity.
The most common of them all, the full noddy. More Global Village voices now on how they see the noddy story.
As an editor, I use things like cutaways and noddies really as a creative tool rather than sort of a tool of deception to try and fool people into things. And the reason I do that is because, you know, especially in this day and age, people are really media savvy. They expect a very high standard of program, and as such, you know, in interviews you do need to make lots of cuts, and so as a result you have to cover those cuts so that it doesn't sort of look unprofessional and jump all over the place.
Well, I think cutaways have their place in certain kinds of programming, but it's certainly an overused device to the point of cliche. I often watch TV and cringe when I see the so-called noddies and hand gestures and everything that so obviously been added afterwards. And I think we have to give a viewer credit for having more intelligence than that.
Finally, for the last word this week, we're going to go back to Pakistan and a satirical group that seems to have learned a thing or two from Jon Stewart and Comedy Central's Daily Show. They call their program The Real News, and they've got a lot to say about Iran, the US, Israel, and nuclear politics. It's our internet video of the week. We'll see you next time at The Listening Post.
Danish, does this news worry you that the Iranis might have a nuclear weapon soon?
Well, Saad, the Americans are claiming that Iran will be able to produce nuclear weapons within 4 to 10 years. Can you imagine the kind of pressure this puts on Iran? I mean, they were hoping for a toaster in 4 years. Now they have to scratch everything and focus on this.
Okay, Danish. Let's just move on. Why does Iran want this nuclear technology?
Iran is claiming natural rights to enrichment, since there's now a double standard as Brazil is also forwarding nuclear enrichment.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Israel!
I'm sorry, did you say something?
I'm sorry, there's something stuck in my throat. Israel!
Okay. Just one more thing. Do you think we'll see a shift in US policy towards Iran?
Oh yes, absolutely. There's most certainly going to be a shift.
Okay, what do you mean?
Bombs, missiles, nuclear silos, guns, knives. Really anything they can shift this way is going to shift this way. Which means I'm going to shift my backside out of here faster than you can say Ahmadinejad.